Saw, dude.
All right, guys. What's going on? As you heard, Liam's here. I'm here, Mike Sullivan. It's Tuck Rule Takes, episode 13, I think, which makes sense because 13 is bad luck, and that's all the Patriots had this weekend. With us, recurring guest, actually the first recurring guest, I think, right?
Yeah, congrats. Slow golf clap.
Yeah. No, don't clap. We don't even need to clap for it.
Right,
it's Josie back
Josie.
all the way from Idaho. The only Idahoan who I think in existence.
Soon to be Maddie B. Make it two.
There's going to be two people from Couch Guy Sports are going to be living in Idaho soon, and I think that's too many people. I feel like there's a limit for how many known people can be in Idaho.
Figured that was population anyway.
I don't know.
I want to claim it. Let me claim it. I'm the OG.
The OG. Is that what you want to be the OG from Idaho? I don't know about that.
Why
not? But yeah, guys, you heard me say Couch Guy Sports. Go take a look there. I actually wrote something today about how the Patriots' past success has broken the fan base. Liam's all over there. Josie's all over there as well. CouchGuySports.com. Little Birdie also told me we are going to be getting Tuck Rule Takes merch soon. I love saying merch, by the way. It's like I feel like we're an official podcast, but there's going to be some sort of merch soon, so just going to be on the lookout for that. You can hit either me or Liam up or Tuck Rule Takes on Twitter if any of that interests you. But you all know why we're
my TRT banana hammock. That's what I'm looking for.
You know, if the Patriots lose next week, I may have to wear one of those. I have a whole thing going on for that.
Yikes! So that's not a bet I want to be a part of.
I'm not coming back on the show.
35-29. Patriots lost to the Dallas Cowboys. The fraudulent America's team beat America's actual team in overtime. This episode is going to be all about that. There's not going to be much breaking down of next week because, like I said, we are playing the Jets. Jets suck. 35-29 overtime. I would say, and I don't know if you guys agree, Liam. I'm pretty sure you agree. Probably the best game of the year in the NFL.
I would say so. With the worst ending, the best game I've ever watched.
Yeah. I mean, it was back and forth, mistakes on both sides, missed calls from both sides too, phantom calls, crazy fourth down stops, balls getting punched out, balls being touchdowns, but there's no conclusive evidence. So it isn't a touchdown.
That's what I'm hearing.
A lot of balls.
Dak Prescott. A big ball podcast, big balls, all the balls,
giant pink ones.
Giant. We'll have to get that on a shirt. Just the big pink balls with a Tuck Rule Takes. People listening have no idea what that's about. But anyways, I'm not going to start because I don't really know where my head is. So one of you guys, Josie, if you want to start, since your team somehow pulled out a win, how are you feeling right now?
I mean, I wasn't confident at all during the game. Like I said, I knew it would be close. I knew it was going to be high scoring. Was really bummed when there was a chance for 21-28 to happen, and it didn't happen since that was my prediction on the show. Mm-hmm. But the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter and overtime was just a roller coaster. I was on the ground. I was screaming. I had to grab a drink after, obviously, because my goodness, that was easily the best game that the Cowboys have had this year as well. As far as closeness and competitiveness. It was one to watch, especially when you're sitting next to a Patriots fan and chewing his phone away so it wouldn't be spoiled.
Gosh.
Sorry, I'm not going to laugh with you, Josie. I'm not in the mood to laugh.
I can tell.
I'll only laugh at Maddie B's suffering. That's the only thing I'll chuckle at.
It all started with Diggs' pick. That's really where that turning point was. I feel like that's when, because the third quarter, in my opinion, was kind of silent. Not much happened.
Yeah.
But that fourth quarter,
made up for the lull in action.
Fourth quarter was ridiculous. Pat scored 15 points. The Cowboys scored 12. That was where all the scoring happened. It was insane. And you brought up Diggs. Diggs was
silent.
Yeah, I didn't really notice him. Yeah, we know until that pick.
Streaks alive. Which, for myself.
Can I just get this out of the way now? I don't think Diggs is good. I don't think he's that good. I really don't.
Hot take. Do tell.
It's not even a hot take.
He's on bye next week. You won't have to worry about hearing him get an interception next week.
I'm glad, because it sounds like nails down a chalkboard to me. I cannot stand to hear it. But 3 of his interceptions have been passes tipped to him. That sounds like an inability for receivers to catch. Same thing goes for in this Patriots game. A common theme that we saw plenty were drops, bad drops. And while Mac didn't throw the perfect pass in the world, it was a flat-out drop. That jackass that just landed in that jackass's hand like somebody threw an egg off the hen house, just right into his palms, and he was gone. And at that point, it's just, I'm devastated. I'm sure every other Patriots fan is devastated. And then,
and then you heard my scream throughout Idaho of that pick, because I'm sure I was the only person in Idaho that was
probably, yeah. But
just end it there. The only person in Idaho.
I was going to say, that's where we cut it off. But then the very next play, we're getting 2 touchdowns in like 16 seconds here. The very next play. Go. What does Diggs do? Just please tell me, Josie, what is
I don't know if he was even on the field. I think he was kind of a ghost. He was just chilling.
Crazy. You would think he was a ghost, but actually Bill, or I guess if you want to say Josh McDaniel, drew up the right play here to have
perfect play.
Our boy Kenny Bourne go over the middle and do a little stop and go, and Diggs getting overzealous. Wanted another pick.
Don't call me Jason Bourne.
That's what I learned.
He wanted that other pick. He jumped that route. The second Bourne stops, he goes in front of it, tries to get that pick. Oh, what do you know? There's no pick. All of a sudden, he sees Kendrick Bourne's ass going down the field, wide open.
Supremacy. Born supremacy. That's what I'm gonna call it.
Yeah, drinking turf pedals as Bourne is just legging it down the sideline, just throwing it into the end zone.
That was not all.
One catch, 75 yards, tub. I am back to life there.
I'm so sad right now. I
wish this had a happy ending.
I hate this because I just got happy and then I thought of what happened.
I just wanted to point out though that Diggs sucks. He got smoked. He got burned. I roast marshmallows to a lesser degree than he got roasted.
Speaking of people that didn't perform as well as they should have, what about Matt Judon for you guys? Do you feel like
Matt Judon was amazing,
underperformed?
Stunning.
Yeah, no. Keep talk amongst yourselves real quick, guys, because I need to. I have Judon's actual stats.
But,
I think
so do I.
I mean, I saw him. Obviously, he was on the camera. Those red sleeves.
How could you not? He's the scariest.
They're there. But did he get to the quarterback? Did he get a sack, or was it a different player? I know Dak got sacked, but I wasn't paying attention to which one of your defensive players.
Are you trying to be facetious?
See, well, that's too big of a word for me. First,
because no,
you're not abusing, Josie. You're not abusing.
Matt Judon did not get a sack. No, he had 4 tackles, 2 assists.
Did he have a streak that was broken?
No, it's not so much a streak.
No, Josie, in New England, we don't really care about streaks. We put team success, which ultimately we didn't have last night, but we don't care about things like streaks and little things like that. We're not like the Cowboys franchise where we have to worry about streaks.
Every little thing we need to celebrate, man.
Because ultimately we know that we're gonna piss down our legs like the Cowboys are going to. But no, he did not get a sack.
But no, he did not. Not even close.
He was still all over the field, though.
He did look over the field.
He was still good, but yeah, the Cowboys' offensive line. I think just as the game went on, they kind of did what the Cowboys' defensive line did to our O-line. They just kind of manhandled us towards the end. And yes, by the way, I think we are a podcast. This is us and we when talking about our team. So you can piss off if you don't like that. But yeah,
we are the Patriots.
We are the Patriots because I just wanted them to win.
I think if you guys would have thrown more, you might have won, honestly. There were way too many run plays.
So
that was very predictable.
They had success with the run early. But then I heard, and I mean, we're just letting everybody know we're going to be all over the place. I'm not even going to try to stick on the chronological order
no topic
of the game.
To be fair, dude.
Did you guys hear how, I guess the personnel the Pats were running out of early in the game? How they asked Belichick why they stopped doing that because they were having success running the ball, even behind this offensive line, which I thought was impressive. But Belichick was like, well, we only had a certain amount of plays script or in the playbook for that personnel. I see people being like, oh, that's bad coaching, that's this and that. It's really not, because no matter what your personnel is, you always have a certain amount of plays or certain iterations of those plays. You know what I mean? They probably weren't expecting to run jumbo sets against this Cowboys front that's been stopping the run. You know what I mean? So it's just another thing I just want to get out there. Belichick definitely deserves criticism this season. Everybody does. The whole team does. But to criticize him on that, I mean, you can expect him to have an unlimited amount of plays. And who knew if Josh McDaniels would even call the plays? But yeah, I just wanted to get out in front of that. The Patriots did have some success. Damian Harris had over 100 yards, which was nice.
And our boy Ramondre punched
Ramondre, first touchdown. It was either going to be him or Myers. I'm convinced Myers, by the way, is never going to get a touchdown.
Dude, he's cursed. When he got that touchdown, I was like, finally, especially because I bet on it.
And then, of course, I turned. I was like, it's his first touchdown. They called it back. I was like,
and then there was a flag.
Then there was a flag, yeah.
There were a lot of flags this game.
Yeah, I was going to say a lot of ticky-tack. I mean, even on both teams, there were some holding calls on what's his name, Tyrone Smith from you guys. There was some holding, some phantom ones on David Andrew. They were just back and forth. There was the missed there was the missed face mask on Nelly for like one of the last plays of the game, which again, it is what it is. I'm not going to blame it on a certain call because again, shouldn't Liam's not happy about this, but you know, it doesn't, this is one of those games where I can confidently say it doesn't come down to one call, one play. It was just a series of plays and calls that led to the outcome. This isn't one of those, did the Patriots lose the game? Did the Cowboys win the game? No, the Cowboys won, but not because the Patriots lost the game. The Patriots just happened to be on the losing side of the game. You know, I think both teams made enough mistakes to lose the game. Both teams made plays to win it. And I think everybody on the Patriots said the Cowboys just made more plays, which sucks. It sucks so bad. So
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm feeling great.
I do want to remind you, Josie, I can kick you out. So I would recommend to not get on my goddamn bad side.
You know why I feel great about it? It is because the fact that the Cowboys have 5 wins, and that's as many wins as the rest of the NFC East has combined. We're 3 games ahead. The next best is 2 wins in the league.
That is freaking pathetic. Hear what I said?
Pathetic.
That is freaking pathetic, guys.
NFC league.
The Eagles will still win.
Everyone
I'm not worried about it.
Cowboys don't suck this year, so there's one.
No, they'll still fall apart. There's plenty of time. Plus, the Eagles still have much time to win that division. I'm not even worried about it.
I don't know. I think the Cowboys make it to the NFC Championship. To be honest, I think Tony Romo said it. Listen. You just hate the Cowboys because you kind of like the Eagles.
This isn't even my bias.
I think it is.
They're not a good team. They're
an amazing team. Do you want to know why I keep saying they're an amazing team? Because it makes me feel better about the loss.
You know what though? How they're also amazing. Another fun stat for you guys.
How, Josie?
I don't think these stats are very fun.
Sorry. This is the first time the Cowboys have won in Foxborough since 1987.
I'm elated at that stat.
None of us were alive.
What a goddamn fun fact that is, Josie. That is so fun.
I think we just found the funnest fact that has ever been uttered on Tuck Rule Takes. Round of applause. Josie, good job. Huh. Hashtag heavy sarcasm.
We them boys.
Okay, hold on. Let me try to get us back on track somewhat with the game. So, God. Okay, let's just get into it. So, game starts. Cowboys. The Pats win the toss. They get it. Do nothing. Obviously, kick it out. All that. But you know. I was impressed that the Pats picked off Dak. I like that. I was happy about that. You know,
not surprised. It's not very good.
A red zone pick. You know, that's something that Dak doesn't do that often. Because I think Josie, you had a stat. I think you felt the need.
I have another fun stat, and you guys actually will like this one.
I guarantee. Okay. What?
So your guys' team got 2+ turnovers. Yes, in the red zone. That's the first time that's happened to the Cowboys since 2008. In a game. So good
it's actually not that far, but like, all right.
I mean, that, you know, I mean, I wouldn't say that's fun, but like that's a cool stat. I would put that in the cool stat.
It's a better stat for you guys than other ones.
Better is the word.
We're getting there.
You want to know what a cool stat is though for this for the Patriots offense. Patriots offense did not face a third down until about 5.5 minutes left in the second.
Jesus.
That's pretty good. That's pretty
efficient.
good. So that's why, and I think actually, you know what? We're gonna stick with tradition. Mac Jones, best game of the season. Easily best game of the season.
Yeah, I would say so.
He got mollywopped. He got shit whipped. He got skull freaked. It was he got his ass kicked.
Skull freaked.
But he's well, you know, I don't want to say the actual because it's very aggressive. The actual term, skull effed. You can put two and two together. But yeah, Mac had a great game. I thought. You know, he did have the pick, which again you can debate whether or not the ball could have been thrown better. I think almost 90% of balls in the NFL can be thrown better. At the end of the day, that hit him right in the hands. Bourne should have had it. It was very similar to the pass that was thrown to Aguilar in overtime that Aguilar should have had. Maybe a little bit, like a couple inches, further out there. But Kendrick Bourne gets paid to catch the ball. So, you know, you got to catch that. But otherwise, Mac Jones, 15 of 21, low attempts, low completions, 229, 2 touchdowns and a pick. I mean, good game. Again, I think this is going to lead into my bigger statement with Mac Jones, where I was never big on the argument that the Belichick and McDaniels are necessarily holding him back, you know, keeping the training wheels on him or anything. I think it was just kind of one of those things where they want to make sure that he developed. You know, it's kind of like you don't want to put too much on his plate before he's ready. I think he is 100% ready now. I think in order to make any noise in this season, in order to have a chance to be in the fight for a playoff spot, you need to not let Mac cook. That's not what I'm saying, but you need to just let him do whatever he wants. You know, give everything to him. I don't know if maybe you were all in 80%. You need to be all in 100% on him. Because I think that he showed 4 of 4 on passes, 20 yards or more. I think he had 3 big time throws, Pro Football Focus grades those. So great game by Mac. Great game by Mac. Yeah, I know. Pro Football Focus. You got to kind of take the good with the bad, but you know, it is still it's a decent benchmark because everybody's judged by the same thing. So Mac Jones, best game of his career so far. I know it's only 6 games in, but I'm pumped. I love Mac Jones. I die for him. I kill for him.
I'm not as psyched. I definitely wouldn't die, wouldn't kill.
What is it going to take? What is it going to take,
It's going to take more than this. It's going to take more than a loss to the crappy fucking Cowboys.
It wasn't his fault. I'm sorry. I'm taking it out on you. I'm sorry.
Kick him out. Just kidding.
Josie.
Hey, even after his performance, I said he's going to be good. If he continues
did you?
How he's playing, yes, I did. I said this to Matty B. I'm like, Mac Jones is going to be scary in, a couple of years. He's going to be one of those scary top 5 quarterbacks. I truly believe it.
And I have faith that he will develop as such that I will eventually be willing to take out a small village with a pencil for this man. But right now is not that time. I am still very much in the Cam Newton would be undefeated right now category.
Oh, no.
What do you mean?
You heard me.
What do you mean? What do you mean? No,
I mean,
proceed. I'm sorry.
Okay. Cam Newton would be undefeated right now. That's not a question in my mind. He would be ahead of all these teams. All these close games would be wins. And I could see him just getting madder and madder. But I think this is a huge benchmark for Mac. Obviously, going forward, you open up the playbook much more and let him throw the ball deeper, uncork some new plays that he originally couldn't do before. I agree with you there. I don't think you open it up 100%, though. He proved he can throw the deep ball. I like that. But I still don't think he can throw the sideline to sideline in the intermediate areas. I need to see a little more, even with the decision making. It's pretty good. Still not perfect. Still a rookie. I get it. But I have a lot of promise. I'm just not sold on the product. It is in my Amazon shopping cart. I'm mulling it over. But I didn't pull trigger right away. This is one of those purchases that I walked away. I did something else, and then I see it on my YouTube advertisements when I'm watching my murder videos later. And it comes up again. Do you want to buy this product? I'm like, yes, I forgot. I do want to buy that product, but it'll take some time in between there. So will eventually buy Mac Jones. Right now, no, but he looked great. He did look great.
I don't think I'm going to address the Cam Newton statement.
Because it's true. No, I get it.
I don't want to dive back into that headspace. Mental health is really big. I think we're all admitting, mental health is important nowadays. And
I don't want to strain yours by thinking about a better quarterback than the one you already have.
No one's ashamed to talk about it. But Liam, the more you open your damn mouth,
better than Dak too, if it makes you feel better.
Okay. You know what? Not even worth. Oh, by the way, quick news on Cam Newton. He did say he was going to get vaccinated, so who knows where he goes next. Maybe the Jaguars give up on Trevor Lawrence for him. I don't know. I just don't like Trevor Lawrence. But anyways, though, I'm not going to dive into the Cam Newton thing, because I think that there's too many. I'm cool with playing the what if game. There's too many moving parts in my eyes for that, because defenses will play you different. Offenses, who knows? But you said you're not sold on Mac. I can understand that to an extent, because he does at times still look like a rookie, but
yeah, which is totally fine. I don't want to sound overly critical here, but I need to see like franchise court. Like obviously Aaron Rodgers sat for the first year, so he's in a completely different situation. But when Aaron Rodgers became the full-time starter, from every game, you were like, holy shit. You're like, there is something here. With Patty Mahomes in his first year, you're like, there is something here. Yeah, I get it. And these ended up becoming all-time great quarterbacks, not saying Mac Jones is, but that seems to be a lot of the expectation. So I'm waiting for those performances where I get blown away. And Aaron Rodgers' third game, he threw 3 touchdowns in the first quarter of that game, ended up with 6. That's crazy. And I just haven't seen anything like that blows me away yet. Obviously, it's few and far between. There aren't many players that do that. I shouldn't be expected to be blown away.
No, but you shouldn't.
I have a high standard of living, and I will not dip below that standard. So if you don't blow me away on Sundays, Thursdays, and Mondays, I'm not gonna, sell out for you on Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and whatever other day I didn't mention, Tuesdays.
So are you looking for a specific number of like touchdowns, or just a specific throw or two that you're waiting for him to make? Because he's made the intermediate stuff that you brought up, but I get where you're talking about, the sideline to sideline. From throwing to like the boundary.
He can do it. He can do it. I just need to see consistency.
Yeah, I get
the benchmark that I have. I need a virtuoso performance, something that just crams Mac Jones down my throat and makes it sit in my stomach like a couple donuts from Dunkin' Donuts. I need something that just sits with me for a while, a performance that I watch on a Sunday and then sit back and go, God damn, for like 2 or 3 hours after the game's over, just sit there looking at a blank screen going, what the hell did I just watch? That's what I need to see. Virtuoso.
After this game.
Just tasting that Mac Jones that's been crammed down your throat. You just want to taste that after the game, like donuts.
Oh, 100%. Yep, for a long while afterwards. And it doesn't have to be a specific number. I would like to see 4 touchdowns. Sounds like a very a number that I could eat up. And that's big. That's big. I know it's big, and that's not saying he could have a virtuoso performance and have 2 touchdowns, have 3 touchdowns. He could have 2 in a rushing touchdown. I just need a takeover game. Like I told you with Aaron Rodgers, a takeover game. One that
I get that. Do you think that, because I think that he's more than capable of it now. I don't think when he started that he wasn't. The issue that I think you're coming into with that is, unlike the Rodgers or the Mahomes, who can really move the pocket and have all that crazy athleticism or anything like that. I think what Mac Jones is kind of going up against is, and I know we bring it up all the time and it sounds like a broken record, but the offensive line does not allow him to consistently drop back and throw the ball 20, 30, 40 yards. When it does, you see what he looks like. And again, I'm not using the offensive line as an excuse, it's more of a reason. It's another variable that comes into play. But I think that Mac will get there. I understand that that's what you want to see. So that's what it's going to take for you to be sold on him. I get that. But Mac has already been crammed down my throat, and I love the way he tastes. So
good. I'm glad. You should enjoy that taste. I'll have it eventually, I hope.
I'll enjoy it for the both of us. Now, but yeah, Mac, good game overall. Like I said, I think this was his highest rating, highest a bunch of things. And he's also blowing away every other rookie QB in almost every stat. So that's not even a decision anymore. I think as it stands right now, Patriots did take the best the most NFL ready quarterback right now.
Are we hearing early like rookie of the year chirps though? I don't hear anyone say rookie
I haven't
of the
heard
year,
anything. And
Mac
I think the
Jones.
reason why is because one, he's on the Patriots, and I don't care what anybody says, that comes into play because a lot of people do not like the Patriots. I don't care what anybody says, but also the team just isn't winning. So I think it's one of those things. It's not like in baseball where there was a time where CC Sabathia won the MVP. He was on the Indians and the team sucked. But it's not like one of those other sports where you can be an MVP and still have your team not succeed. I feel like the rookie of the year is going to have to be on a team that at least makes the playoffs or is in the playoff hunt. I think if he starts putting up these games or similar games that you're talking about, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, virtuoso Shannon Sharp performances like that. I think he'll be in that conversation. I think he should be whispered in the conversation right now. I don't think that he should get any meaningful part of the conversation right now, unfortunately, because he is clearly the most NFL ready rookie quarterback and second year quarterback too, because he's doing better than Jalen Hurts and everybody else out there.
Whoa. So, all right, let's not get crazy.
I had to take a shot at the Eagles. I'm sorry. I do not like the Eagles.
See,
we outnumber you 2-1.
That's not how that works.
So Mac Jones did his thing. Damian Harris, 18 carries, 101, average like 5.6 yards. That's great.
Yeah.
Take that all day. The offensive line, for as good as they were last week, they did take a minor step back, but it's nothing. I do think they're on the right trajectory because Wynn is back. Onwenu is back too. Andrews is still doing his thing. So hopefully they kind of step up. Kind of play some more bully ball, let the team run it a little bit. And I think we're going to kind of have a little Band-Aid over everything next week because the Jets are horrible. And I think that the team's going to look better than they are, which we'll see how that works. But okay, I want to talk about the Dak touchdown or the Dak non-touchdown. I was thinking though, as I was watching it, what Dak probably needed to get over the to get over the line a little bit. Because I don't know about you guys, I was pretty shocked. I
figured he just needed to be a better QB.
That he didn't get over. Well, that too.
Yeah, sure. 445 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Well, not virtuoso enough.
Okay, guys. That was a perfect segue into our ad read, and you all screwed it up.
I know.
So I was shocked, as I think you all should get shocked as well, because what is shocked, you may ask? Liam's surprised. Josie doesn't know what it is. They don't have shocked out in Idaho. Shocked Energy is a drink made by gamers for gamers and podcasters. All their favorite flavors come packed with 180 milligrams of caffeine. Make sure no matter what you're doing, you get the good vibes, you get the energy, all that. There's no crash, no jitters, no nothing. Trust me when I tell you, I am without a doubt top 10 energy drink addict in the country, number 1 energy drink addict in Couch Guys Sports. Liam is getting so hyped up that he is falling closer and closer to the computer right now. So I don't know. He might be falling asleep. We might have to get him some shock. Guys, go to shockedenergy.com. Use promo code CGSN today to get 10% off your order. Again, that's C as in couch, G as in guy, S as in sports, N as in network, to get 10% off your order. And they do ship worldwide, including Idaho.
Please, Mike, tell me more.
How is that? Well, unfortunately, Liam, that is the end of the ad read. So,
he looked that eye up close. You have beautiful blue eyes there, Liam.
Thank you. My school nurse said that I have the most beautiful eyes she had ever seen.
Your school nurse? Did you get
We're shocked.
hurt? Yeah.
No, I didn't have many friends, so the school nurse was my friend.
Man, that's so sad. Is that why you like the Eagles? Is that why the Eagles were your only friends?
No correlation, actually.
Okay, whatever. Okay, so I want to talk about the Dak thing because I feel like this is a point of contention for Cowboys fans. Dak Prescott tried to sneak his little sneak way across the line. Clearly didn't get it, and I say clearly because there was no evidence that he did get it. Now, Josie, I see you making all your commotion over there. Yeah, flim flam, fling flong, bing bong shenanigans over there. Common sense would tell you that Dak Prescott most likely got over the line. But common sense, sometimes, Liam, what happens when you assume? You make an ass out of you and me.
Yep, never be presumptuous.
I'm not going to assume that Dak Prescott made it over the line because guess what? I'm not on the field. I can't tell. I'm not the refs. You know who are the refs? The refs are the refs. So
That is an astute observation.
I fucked it up there. I had a really good word thing and I threw refs out there, but they saw it. They said it was not a touchdown.
Yes.
Correct.
Josie,
call.
thoughts for your thoughts? What's going on? How you feeling about that? Huh?
I remember you texting me and saying, by the way, it looked like a touchdown. There just was not enough evidence.
I was drinking
Patriots
alcohol. That
It was
was
a moment
I
of
had
weakness.
4 different Patriots fans text me, or at least sit next to me and tell me, "Oh yeah, that was in."
Didn't
But
want you
I
to feel
totally
bad.
get,
I understand Matty B has
evidence,
split
if it's not a
personality
good
disorder,
angle.
but he doesn't count as 4 different Patriots fans. I hope you realize.
So Mike, Jess Donahue, Matty B. I don't remember who the fourth. Maybe it was Al.
Okay,
I don't fucking
well,
know.
2 of those 3
But
are
there's-
unreliable sources, so I'm not going to say
Right.
which one's which.
2 of those 3 don't like me. So
There you go. But anyway,
3 of those 3, if you
I
include me.
understand, sometimes those calls happen where the view is not good enough to tell you, oh, his body's
Obscured.
over. Yet
Yep.
obviously my Twitter was flooded with the view that showed him going over, but then you see the view
after the
where
play,
he's
after
like,
the play was blown dead. Sorry.
but then you see him not over. So, I was pissed when it first happened because I'm like, okay, I think that was right before half, like pretty close to around half,
It was
right?
close, yeah. Yeah, it was close.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, going into half down kind of sucked. But in the end, obviously the 4th down try was ridiculous. That definitely was not in.
That was
So
wild.
that
That was
that
wild.
was terrible. The third one I was upset about, but obviously if we would have lost the game, I probably would have been more upset right now. But
Yeah, of course.
came back. So I understand they're just trying to do their job, but there
And I
was
think-
definitely a lot of Cowboys fans that were pissed about it.
I think
A
what it
lot.
was is it's like when when someone fumbles the ball and the refs are coming over there trying to break it up and you have, under the pile, you got people fighting for it, poking eyes,
Yeah.
pulling noses, all that fun stuff. I think what was probably with the refs, they went on what they first saw, which you see Dak's body kind of get twisted and then just a pile goes on.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
they're uncovering it, and sure, you have that sky view where he's over the line. But again, it's one of those things like when a fumble happens. Does the guy have recovery and then he starts to fight for it? Was Dak stopped before the line and then he started to move up? Who knows? Personally, honestly, if we're in the trust tree here, which I think we are, I think he crossed the line. But again, there's no evidence for it, so they couldn't overturn it, which led to one of my favorite plays of the game. Jawan Bentley just. Superman, one man punches that ball right out before it crosses the line. It was then, ladies and gentlemen, that I thought the Patriots were going to win the game. Of course, that did not happen, but I was running around the house like a lunatic at that point, like a loony man. I picked up my cat. I ran around the house. You can't. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you can see it. There's a scratch. It's too small to show. It's not worth it. But yeah, ran around the house like, oh my god, it's a foul. Great, awesome. You stopped him. Great. I thought there was nothing but good tidings to come. I was wrong.
You're wrong.
Yeah. So I don't know.
feel like you were in a roller coaster too. Like,
Oh,
you texted
the
that you were
worst.
like, it's over, and then you guys came back, and then
Yeah, I get very see, and that's the thing. See, when I tell people, because whenever I'm always like, I'm not necessarily defending the Patriots, but I'm an optimistic Patriots fan. So after the game, you freak out, you have a night to sleep it off, and then you kind of, start to look forward, onward and upward. And I get told, oh, what, you don't want to criticize a team, this and that. Buddy, if you're around me when I'm watching this game, you guys got a little taste of what happens. When I was texting you, yeah, we're done. Game's over, done, blah, blah, blah. Because it's just, these games, even though they're the best games to watch, they're not fun. I don't care if your team wins or loses. These aren't fun games to watch. Like, I don't like, trust me, I love a back and forth, like stressful game. I love it, but at the same time, I hate it. Like I said, these aren't fun games. I did not have fun watching that game at all. No amount
Took years
of,
off my life.
Years. That's why when people say, "Oh, you're a Patriots fan, life is easy." No, it's not. You know how many high-strung, high-pressure games we have? 9 Super Bowl.
Did you see the
games.
Edelman catch in the Falcons Super Bowl? Shut up.
Do you understand what happened when that happened? My father-in-law and I were like 2 feet from the TV, staring at the TV, being like, "He caught it!" And everybody, "He caught it! Oh my God, he caught it!" That was a rough game. So don't come at me with it's easy being a Patriots fan. It's difficult. Easy being a Cowboys fan of losers, except for last Sunday.
Just assuming you're gonna lose.
I was gonna say it's great. It's great this season, not other seasons. It's great this.
Honestly,
season.
you guys are actually.
I can't wait till you get let down.
Yeah, I kind of hope that happens too, but
it's a guarantee. They do it every year.
It'll probably be on Thanksgiving because that's usually when it happens.
Yep. The Cowboys will do cowboyish things.
You guys are screwed on Thanksgiving, but
yeah, against the Raiders, yay.
Yeah, no. You guys are screwed on Thanksgiving. I lost my train of thought. I'll pick it up in a second. Do you guys have any other area you want to jump on before I get back onto my train of thought that when I find it, when it goes through my head?
Well, you know what? I will say one thing. You were talking about how well Damian Harris did. Your defense was really good at stopping Zeke's run. He only got 69 yards, which is nice. But 69 yards.
Very nice.
So go ahead and go on that rant.
So I would love to comment on that. And I don't even think that's a whole point to how good the Patriots defense is, although they are stout, is the word I would use, stout at stopping the run.
Getting better, much better.
I just mostly think that's a reflection of Zeke not being that good. I think he's runs like a barrel going downhill.
Quite, yeah.
I don't think he's good. I think he's past his shelf life for a running back. In fact, I would almost use washed. I just don't think he's got it. I don't think he's got it anymore. I think he paid a lot of money to broken wheels. And that's fine. More power to you. You're still going to use him. You're still going to get your money's worth. The Patriots defense was great, particularly Juwan Bentley, who racked up 12 tackles. I mean, this dude was everywhere.
Absurd. And the punch out.
Yeah, no one is getting by Bentley. And that's a phrase that I haven't said in the past, and I don't know how many times I'll say that again. But in this game,
I think you'll say it a lot, man. I think you say a lot. Our young linebackers are incredible. Ronnie Perkins still hasn't come on the field yet.
I know. And Jennings from Alabama, he played a lot last year. He hasn't done much this year, but I do love him.
The Alabama guys are going to have a connection because you got Perkins from Alabama. You got him from Alabama as well. And then, I mean, obviously you have, offensive players too from there, but yeah, the rush defense, I think they were going into the game, they were either 15th or 11th. I forget which stat where they were, which again, stats are kind of here and there because the Patriots also had a top 5 passing defense and they got torched. Yeah. I mean, again, you're also going up against someone who's in the MVP conversation and a team that's by all intents and purposes, people are saying can be a Super Bowl contender. Liam, you got to take the bias off for a second.
What MVP race are you guys looking at?
You want to know?
No, it's on there. The odds of him being being in the MVP conversation are like actually there.
I don't think he's actually
there.
The same
He's
odds
had
of
3+ touchdowns in 5 of 6 games.
What is it?
He's had 3 touchdowns or more in 5 of 6 of his games. Okay. We don't count the Chargers one where he didn't get a touchdown.
That's pretty big. That's pretty big.
By all means, don't count that.
Egg. Yeah, definitely. I'd hate for my MVP candidate to do that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Would you like your MVP candidate to get you 445 yards?
I could do a little more than that.
Okay.
So he's nowhere in the top 5.
No, I think he is. I forget what odds I was looking at. It was like the odds.
Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray.
He's been playing better than Lamar Jackson.
No, he hasn't.
Not Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray definitely is. Yeah.
It should be Kyler Murray. Honestly, it should be Kyler Murray or Tom Brady if we're going to be just in the trust.
Tom Brady, I thought he was 3rd.
That's what it should be. I think Kyler Murray's going to win it though. I don't think the Cardinals are as good as they are because I think they're just living off the skill of Kyler Murray, which when it gets to the playoffs, that's what I'm saying. He's also 5 feet tall. So I'm sorry, but you get hit as you start to play playoff teams, and that's what's going to happen. So I don't know. Either way, we're not. Whatever, whether Dak's going to be an MVP candidate or not, it is what it is. But the Cowboys, though, the Cowboys are statistically, numbers, playing wise, they are one of the better teams in the NFL. And the Patriots did take them to overtime, playing not a really well-rounded game. So I think that says something about the Patriots more than it does about the Cowboys, because the Cowboys Cowboys gave him, left, right, left hook, right hook, jab, punch, uppercut, everything. Patriots kept coming back. But yeah, the rush defense, though, I was very surprised about that. That's actually, I wrote on couchguysports.com that one of the things the Pats had to do to win the game was stop the run. They fulfilled half of that, which I thought they did well. They did stop the run for the most part. I think Pollard had like 30 yards or something too.
I was going to ask, did he do much?
He did. Yeah, he had Pollard. Thank you for asking. Had 41 yards. So as a whole, they had over 100 yards. But again, it's one of those things where you'll take that, giving up 69 yards to Zeke or 41 to Pollard. You're not going to get a team that has two good running backs like that. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, rush defense was good. Pass defense left a little to be desired. Jalen Mills came back. Jalen Mills has been arguably one of the best, he's getting better week after week after week, most consistent, good corner, good secondary piece on the team. Got torched.
I was about to say, even though he got fried.
But see, that's the thing. I think that's how, as Patriots fans, we have to take a step back and look at this. The things that are happening this year, guys, I gotta say it. I don't think this is our year, friends. Jalen Mills, awesome the whole season, gets torched when it matters. JC Jackson last game, guess what? Like just all these weird things. The Patriots being 0-4 at home. At home, it's these weird.
We're starting
things.
28 years.
That is odd.
That's just it. There's these things that are happening, which I know that people who want Belichick out for some reason are going to say that like
people are weird.
He should be up. Yeah. See, I have a whole thing on that, but it's just, I don't get that, because you're judging this. The Patriots, if you're looking at this, not as the dynasty Patriots, just as a team, they are in a pseudo rebuilding year with a rookie quarterback, a bunch of new offensive pieces, new defensive pieces, a shoddy offensive line as well. So it's not, again, I'm not making excuses, but you can't expect this team to go out there and they're going to lose a lot of close games like this, which going into the season, I predicted 12-5. I was clearly off a little bit because I think I just kind of assumed the offensive line was going to be a little bit better, which I think that if they started the season, the offensive line being better, I think maybe pendulum is kind of swinging the other direction.
We lost a lot of close ones.
Miami, that first game, I know people have said it all the time. That Miami loss is going to look worse and worse, because right now you'd be 3-3 at worst. You don't know how the rest of the games are going to go with momentum and all that. But that game looks horrible right now. You had a chance to win it. You lost by 1 point. That's a horrible one. The Bucs game, you wish you could have that one back. The Saints game, I'll give that loss to you. But, again, it's just one of those things where you're having all these weird things happening. Calls that normally go their way aren't going their way. Calls that normally don't go against them are going against them. Matthew Slater gets called for an unsportsmanlike conduct.
What's up with the bullying of Matthew Slater recently?
I will unsportsmanly shove my fist down these refs' throat if they keep doing that in a polite way, just to make sure that the whistle isn't down their throat, because I was just trying to think of a way to make that more palatable for the people.
I got the message.
Yeah, Matthew Slater, and then that fumble, like, I don't know if you saw, there was the replay where the Patriots were punting to the Cowboys. Cowboys fumbled it, but like on the punt. But if you watch that play, Matthew Slater stumbles getting back there, and he is this close to recovering the ball. If he doesn't stumble gunning back there, I think he gets that fumble. So it's just dumb things like that where you have just uncharacteristic things. I know people are saying it can't be uncharacteristic if it continues to happen. Listen, Dodo, yes it can, because it's not the same thing. Like, it's not, I'm not going to take 1 year of miscues in bad things and say that now that's what these players or this team is like. I'm just upset, guys. I'm just upset that we lost. That's really what it comes down to.
I'm upset.
It was a winnable game. But yeah, Josie, I kind of have other places I want to go. Josie, do you have anything you want to dive in? I feel like I've kept the mic from you a little bit, rightly so, because you are an enemy.
I mean, do you really want the Cowboys fan to talk like that? I get it.
Yeah, say nice things about my team.
Although
Nice things about your team.
That's what I want.
Next week.
The one
If
bright
you're lucky.
spot I can say about the Cowboys, though, I was talking to Mike about this earlier. He made the fatal mistake that I did not. I started CD Lamb in fantasy. I did that.
Yeah, no, see, I
This
can't.
guy.
Golfer class.
I can't in good faith start someone going against my team. I don't know why. I started the Pats. I started the Pats defense. I thought it was going to be a low scoring game. To be honest, it wasn't. They got -4 points, but I'm not going to sit here and talk about fantasy because I live in reality, and right now reality sucks. Where
Fantasy feels great right now, though.
yeah,
honestly.
I'm up by 12. I need Julio Jones to not score 12 points. So I think I might be good because the Bills have a really good defense. By the way, Patriots fans, do not let your hatred for the Bills, which I don't even think there's hatred. I think it's just a healthy rivalry. You need any and every AFC team to lose as much as possible. So it does you no help by hoping the Bills lose. You want the Bills to win every game they play against an AFC person, because for you to make the playoffs, you need everybody around you to start losing. You're not going to win the division. So if the Titans lose, great. That's a team that's in front of you right now. Maybe you can catch up to them. You want the Browns to lose. The Browns are a fake team anyways. I don't think the Browns are good. Baker Mayfield, I like him, but you're hurt. OBJ, I don't even think he knows OBJ is on the team.
He's terrible.
Yeah.
He was only good on the Giants, to be quite honest.
I didn't even think he was good then.
No, OBJ, real quick 60-second Sully. That's a really big throwback, but it's quick 60-second Sully about me complaining right now about OBJ. He is a wildly overrated wide receiver. He had that one catch, admittedly, great catch, one-handed behind the back. Oh, look at me, like awesome catch. He lived off that catch. All he does for the most part is run fast, catch slant routes, or run deep, which again, those are still valuable things, but he's not this top receiver ever, potential Hall of Fame. Shut up. First of all, he's on the Giants.
And now the Browns. Two horrid franchises that will never get out of the basement of their divisions or the basement of life because they're just piss poor organizations. So I don't like OBJ, although when he was going to come to the Pats, I was all for it. But yeah, I think he's wildly overrated. Like, come on. Boat trip. Remember that? The boat trip game?
Yeah, that was hilarious.
I loved that.
Loved it. When he got pissed when he dropped the third down and kicked the ball into the stands. That's right.
Yeah. You dunce. Go put the little dunce cap on and sit in the corner because you shouldn't be on the field. But yeah, anyways, though, you need AFC teams to lose. So I hope in hindsight, listening to this, the Bills end up winning and the Titans lose. I'm going to look really silly if they don't, but hopefully that's what happens.
I think they will. So
yeah, no, I think they will.
Both
the Bills are a wagon. I don't care what anybody says, and I don't care if it's they're catching lightning in a bottle. If they're overrated, right now they are really good. Okay, we've kind of went past it long enough. I want to bring up something with Bill Belichick because everybody's talking about the fourth downs with Billy B and him not going for it. So Patriots
go for it.
Patriots had 5 fourth downs. Let me just set the table, give you a quick little bullet point of what I think, and then I'll let you guys talk. Josie, maybe not you because they benefited you.
Not about your team in fourth downs, but my team in fourth down.
Okay. All right. Well, you guys came out with a W, so shut up. The Patriots, they had 5 fourth downs. They had a 4th and 1 from their own 35. That punt was blocked. Again, see, that's another weird thing. Punt blocks. Yeah. The Patriots for 20 years have had the best special teams unit in the league. So that's why I can't get too upset because you're having all these weird anomalies. It's just like the NFL gods are just punishing us this year. Because guess what? Bill Belichick found a franchise quarterback years before it takes other franchises to find them. You still got franchises who haven't even found one guy. Decades and they haven't found a guy. Took Billy B a year. 1 year with Cam Newton to try to patchwork that together. Didn't work. He drafted Mac Jones. He found the guy of the future. That's why he will never be on the hot seat, or at least not right now. Anyways, 4th and 1 from their own 35. Kick got blocked. Sucks. Whatever. Next one was 4th and 9 on their own 26. You're not going for that. You're going to punt that, obviously, right?
Yeah.
So I saw people saying the 4th and 1 from your own 35 that they should have went for it. You don't do that in the second quarter.
It's
on
very
your own
bold.
35.
It's
Because
extremely bold.
if you don't get it, you're giving the other team 3 points immediately,
Guaranteed.
without a doubt. Without a doubt. And against the second or first best offense, depending on what stat you look at, that's just dumb. So I get all these Twitter experts and all these, local media people who say that should happen. You don't go for it there. 4th and 9 from your own 26. Like I said, you don't go for that. 4th and 2 from the 50. You're up 4 in the third quarter. This punt led to a touchdown. This is the only one where I think people have a legitimate gripe against. You're at the 50-yard line. You're already up. I think this was the 14-10 right now. You're up. It's the third quarter. This punt led to a touchdown. Again, you're not punting the ball away, assuming it's going to be a touchdown anyway. So that's kind of neither here nor there, just what the outcome was. 4th and 2 from the 50. I think if you have a gripe, this is the one. You go for it there. If you don't get it, the Cowboys still have to get 2 first downs. Maybe you hold them, something like that. What do you think? I'll kind of hit you guys up after each one now, because these next 3 are the ones that everybody's talking about.
Hindsight's 2020. I'm all for it. Go bold. I think that they definitely should have went for it. Obviously, it ended up going back the other way and becoming a touchdown. Mm-hmm. Either way, I will take the touchdown risk from the 50.
From the 50, yep.
It's, it's not completely ideal. They're most likely going to score if you don't get it anyway. They scored regardless, so I keep trying to take my own bias out of it. But if you can get that first down, that's such a huge momentum shift. Like, the percentage that you win bumps up, 3 or 4 points, whatever it is, which is huge mathematically in any game like that. I just think that it's one of those things that shows confidence. It emboldens your offense. And if you can show that you have enough confidence in your young quarterback like that, and help your team overall. Damian Harris, 100 yards. Ramondre Stevenson stepped in with no problem. He only got 5 carries. He did fine. Mm-hmm. And the wide receivers, people were getting open. So I have the utmost faith that in theory they would have got it, and maybe it would have changed the game. It's a game of inches. You never really know. But I live bold. If I was a coach, I'd be going for it a majority of the time, because in theory, you don't have a lot to lose.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just depends on, there's a bunch of things. Situation, score. In this case, you're winning. So at least if the Cowboys come down and score when you don't get it, at least you're not down by a touchdown. In that case, you're still only down by 3 points. Or at the very least, you hold them to a field goal. You're still winning. I think this is one where you could have went for it. So I think, Josie, I'm sorry, I didn't even ask you. What would you do? 4th and 2 from the 50. What do you think? You go for it or you don't, right?
Especially if you're in the lead. Because you get the 2 yards, then you have a couple more times to get your first down. You get into field goal range. You can at least get 3 points. You're really close there for that. So why not go for it if you got nothing to lose at that point?
Yeah. So I think this is the one where I think a lot of people do have a gripe against Belichick. And I see people saying it's him coaching scared. I don't think that's what it is, because I don't think it's him. I think he's assessing the risk. That's why there's a difference, because people will then say he's coaching scared, meaning he doesn't have faith in Mac, meaning that he does. So people have these weird connections where I don't think there's connections. It's like
I don't think because they didn't go for it, he doesn't believe in Mac.
No. I think he just said, you know what? How about this? If I don't get it here, and I think this is actually, I'm going to bring this up later on too. If I don't get it here, I'd rather punt it away, give my defense more of a chance to stop them as opposed to a shorter field. In this case, though, it is from the 50. Sure, you can punt and pin them back deep. You didn't do that here, though. So I get the thought process. I would have liked to see him go for it there. The next one was 4th and 4 from their own 46, down 3 in the third quarter. Now, this is 4th and 4. This is different than 4th and 3, 4th and 2, 4th and 1. Obviously, you guys know that, but I'm just kind of saying this is
building the dramatic effect.
Well, I mean, think about it. First of all, it's 4th down. It's not a gimme. All of a sudden, people think the 4th down plays are gimmies now for some reason. I don't know why. And especially I hate to keep bringing it up, but especially with an offensive line like this, you never know any play. If they're going to block well, not going to block, you don't know. But yeah, 4th and 4 from their own 46 and you're down. They kicked that one away. It led to a field goal from the Cowboys. What do you guys think? Because I think this is similar to the overtime one. You're at your own 46. If you don't get this and the Cowboys get a first down, just 10 yards, which I think they averaged 10 yards a play, I think somewhere around there. or I think it was 11 actually, they're already in field goal range. So again, you're essentially giving them a field goal. What do you guys think?
They're obviously a much more hesitant. I go conservative. I kick it away even still.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. Josie, what do you think? I guess I'll ask you.
I guess I'll ask you.
Yeah, 4th and 4.
I would be conservative with that one too.
Yeah,
Just,
right. And especially because you're down. Yeah, I mean, you're down, kick it away, try to pin him back deep. I mean, people are forgetting that the Patriots do have Jake Bailey, who's an absolute weapon. Of course, the unit itself has been off the last couple of games, but Bailey has been overall still pretty good. You try to pin him back. I forget where they kicked him back to. Doesn't matter. Led to a field goal. So the damage was limited a little bit. This is the big one that everybody's talking about. I feel very strongly on this one. 4th and 3 from your own 46 in overtime. I don't think you go for it here because guess what? If you don't get it, the Cowboys have to get 10 yards, just like the last time, just like the last scenario I brought up. You have not stopped the Cowboys at all. And I get people like, well, that's why you should go for it. Hear me out. If you don't get it, which who knows if you do, the Cowboys just need 10 yards. It's in field goal range. They win the game. This isn't just they go up. They win the game. You should try to punt them, maybe pin them back. Because if you think your defense is that bad where you're going to go for it, why would you then give that same defense a shorter field to defend? Why wouldn't you just kick it away to begin with, give them the best chance of possible to stop them, which, as we all know, they didn't. But again, I'm not letting the outcome determine what I thought the decision should be. I think kicking it away was the good decision here because if you don't get it, you're essentially giving up the game.
Josie, you go.
I bet Josie loved this decision.
Because you guys take the bias out of it. Give me a second here.
Yeah, try to take the bias out. So it's 4th and 3 from their own 46. They kicked it away. Obviously, we know the Cowboys went down and scored. It's the same situation as before, just in overtime. The stakes are high.
I think if it was later on in overtime, I would have gone for it. But since you still had so much overtime left to play, it made sense in that opinion. You could have stopped the Cowboys. You didn't, but you could have stopped the Cowboys.
Yep.
And then you could have had the ball back, gotten your touchdown or field goal at that point, and won the game. So I understand why they did it there, but say there was only 2 minutes left in overtime. You should go for it at that point.
Then you go for it. Belichick was really just putting the game in the hands of, between the offense and the defense, he was putting in the hands of his strongest unit. Overall on the season, kind of this game too, a little bit, who knows, the back and forth, but I don't know. Liam, how do you feel, man? You want to go conservative or go a little bit more aggressive here?
I go bull in a China shop aggressive.
I know that's what you were going to say.
Big time, go for it.
So what would you call?
Okay, first of all, let me explain my reasoning quickly. Even if they basically have one first down and they can kick a field goal, it was a guarantee that they were going to score anyway. I'm a big believer in momentum. There was no chance the Patriots defense was going to stop them once they got the ball back. They really hadn't stopped them most of the day, most of the second half, and then they gave me absolutely no hope when the Cowboys basically converted a 3rd and 25 to tie the game and send it to overtime with that field goal.
Forgot about that.
When they pulled that, and you have to hold them, there's 25 yards. Set everyone back, prevent defense, don't let anyone get more than 15 yards. Make them throw it short and have to make a play long. They couldn't do it. They basically gave them a first down. I think they got 24 yards out of the 25.
Yeah, Liam, they got 24 yards on a 3rd and 25.
And then kicked the fucking field goal. So I bet it was a fucking blast. But
was it good for you, Josie? Was it because it was horrible for us?
And,
it was great. It was great. Thanks for asking.
After that, all faith is drained. So when it comes to that in overtime, it's, again, 4th and 6. That's not good. That's not close. That's not ideal. But the Patriots seem to thrive in the short range passing game, short range plays. It all depends on if McDaniels can throw up a play call that's not a screen or a draw to really get this. But there's no reason in my mind you don't give it to Mac Jones and try and let him make the big play of the game here to get them in field goal range, to get them down there, to get some semblance of points, whether it's a touchdown or otherwise. you call a short crossing route. You get Jacoby over the middle. You try and get something outside. Let Nelly shake a guy at the line of scrimmage. Hell, Hunter Henry, for only having 2 catches in this game, he should have had 5. I bet on him to have 5. He should have. He was open plenty of times, and there's just so many different options you have for 4th and 6 where I'd rather you take the risk and go out fighting, because if you're putting your defense out there, it's not going to be much of a fight. We need a transcendent TJ Watt type defender to really shut down momentum when it's that high. And as much as I want to say Matthew Judon's that guy, he hasn't shown me that he's a clutch defensive player yet.
Not this game, at least.
He's
definitely not this game.
He's a phenomenal defensive player, but TJ Watt forced a fumble last night to win, had a sack to win. He was doing everything he could from a defensive end position. That's the way you shift momentum when it's at its highest. We don't have a player like that. There was no chance we were going to stop the Cowboys. We didn't stop the Cowboys. You got to shut up. Just stop making that face.
Starting to think we shouldn't have brought Josie on.
No, we should have just sat here and cried. But I think that there's really no other option. You have all the momentum is screaming. If you can get that first down, the game completely shifts in your favor.
I think it definitely does. Before I respond to that, because you made points. Josie, you got your hand up. What?
So we're talking 4th downs. I want to hear what you guys think of this one, because I thought it was ridiculous. When the Cowboys went for it in the first quarter, 4th and 1 on their 34.
Dumb. I don't know why.
0-0. You guys got a touchdown after.
Why are you so aggressive right there? Yeah, that's the
Kellen
thing.
Moore. That's why.
That's a part of why there was a big time play discrepancy between the teams. The Patriots ran 2 plays there, I think, if they scored a touchdown, if I remember correctly. So yeah, you don't go for it on 4th down at your own 30. That goes back to what I said before with the Patriots not going for it on their own 46, their own 35. You don't do it. I don't understand why you would do that.
You're 0-0. What's the point?
Yeah, no, it doesn't make sense, because the whole, like you said, it's early. You can still punt it away. You don't know what's going to happen. Who knows? Maybe they muff the punt. You pick up the fumble. Who knows what happens? Yeah, going for it that early was dumb. I mean, to be honest, I thought they were going to get it because 4th and 1s. And especially with an offensive line like the Cowboys, I thought that they were going to get it, but they didn't. I loved it. That's where I see the defense did kind of show up to play a good amount. But no, you don't go for it on 4th and 1 from your. I don't care if it was.
I kind of like it. It's kind of bold.
I know you like it
for anyone but the Cowboys, but it's just shows one of those things that's like, I'm not afraid.
Yeah.
Like I said, if I was a coach, I'd go for it most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, and you know what though, the Cowboys, if anything, Cowboys came into this game, they were 4-1. I think if any team, I don't know, they could afford to be aggressive and maybe take a couple losses, because they do also have the firepower to fire back and play catch up with the team.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I guess I can see why he made big statement on the road, get it, swing momentum, but it's just one of those things where the harder the bigger the swing you take, the bigger the miss you might have. That's what I learned growing up playing baseball. It's one of those things where, hey, if you want to have a home run swing, go ahead. You got to make sure you line up the ball.
Yeah,
I don't think that they did that there, and obviously they didn't. So yeah, no, I don't agree with that with that 4th down call whatsoever. But
glad we're on the same page.
Yeah, of course. But Liam, though, you to kind of go back on what you said, I see this kind of like the end of the Bucs game, where it was, do you go for it or do you kick it? I can see the argument from both sides. So that's why, like, the people were like, oh my God, Belichick should have went for it. I get what you're saying. And then it goes back to hey, big tree fall hard, big swing, big miss, or you might hit it. You don't know. It's one of those things where, listen, it's a 3-2 count, 2 outs. You're going to swing for the fences. If you don't get it, you strike out, the game's over. If you hit it, you win the game. So I don't know. It's one of those things where I don't think that the risk of, or the success rate of kicking it away or going for it was that. I think it was just a big risk no matter what you did. Belichick erred on the side of caution, because I think when he saw that the risk calculation was pretty similar, he was like, listen, I'm going to give my defense I'm going to give my defense a longer field to defend. Hopefully they can come up with some plays, because at the end of the day, people say that Belichick doesn't have faith in his teams. He showed the ultimate faith in his defense by saying, you know what, I'm going to kick it away. Hopefully you guys can stop it.
I think that's a bias in him, though, because he's always been the defensive-minded coach. I think
definitely, because I think that's kind of how he built his teams. He sees that, and it's one of those things where not just him. That is definitely his bias. He's a defensive coach, but defense is something you always see that travels, that ends up staying more consistent than offense. And that doesn't really have anything to do with this argument, but it has to do with it in the sense that he put his faith in what he believes is the more consistent unit, the unit that may be able to stop them. Because if you put your faith in the offense, you have one play to get the first down. You put your faith in the defense, you have a dozen plays to stop them.
Yeah.
So, but then at the same time, I see it from the other side. Dude, it's only 3 yards. Throw a slant. You had a slant open with Nelson Aguilar, which we're going to touch on in a second. You had a slant with Jacoby Myers. You had a slant with people. Throw a slant, do something like that. But like you said, do you trust McDaniels to throw a slant, or is he going to do a draw? I don't know. But yeah, I think it's one of those things. I don't think Bill, call him Bill like I know him. I don't think that Belichick that I don't think he deserves to be raked over the coals. I think it's one of those things where it's like, dude, like, okay, I think this was just the cherry on top of your cake that you built, but it was a conservative cake. I think if he went for it on fourth down earlier, or he had a couple more aggressive plays earlier, I don't think people would be talking about this play the same way. I think this just kind of encapsulated that whole game, where I think the coaching staff did play a little too conservative, and I think the outcome kind of, obviously was a result of that. I don't want to talk about it too long because it pisses me off. I've seen videos and pictures of it. Nellyville. I don't want to hear shit about that being a bad throw. That was a better throw than the one that Bourne.
It was a fine throw.
Right to him. Liam, I sent you the picture today. Josie, if you've been on Twitter, you've probably seen it. I don't know. Aguilar had 15 yards between him and the next defender, assuming he got away from the guy chasing him, which he would have, because he had about 2 yards on him. He catches that ball. He might, pie in the sky, he might take it to the house. He at the very least gets it to the 50. At the very least gets it to the 50, I think. That was one of those ones where I was like, fuck. F freak, God, gosh darn it.
Freaking.
That was me. I was, and I think, Liam, did you text me and say, Nelly? Yeah, guess what? You texted me. That was when I had the 30-second delay. So I was like, either something really good is happening or something really bad is happening. And guess what, friends? It was really bad. It was really bad. Yeah. How did that make you feel, Liam? I want to know. Let's have a quick therapy session. How'd that make you feel? Because I, for one, wanted to stick both of my eyeballs in the edge of a, shotgun.
Yes, that's
below my brain.
Aggressive.
That's a good way to sum it up. I would have to say my pain would be something along the lines of like my first gripe divorce. Like when I eventually settle down with a nice, responsible woman who whips me in line and keeps me
not
well
from Idaho.
Not from Idaho.
Definitely not from Idaho.
Definitely not from Idaho. And everything's going great. And then one day just serves me up with the impending divorce papers that I'm sure I will one day get, just hands them to me. I don't think anything of it. I think she's handing me a paper, grab it, open up, boom, I'm getting a divorce. That's how I felt with this, because I'm watching this play. Everything breaks down in slow motion. Nelly gets off the line of scrimmage, throws a little jiggle in there, cuts right in for a slant. Burns number 26. I don't know who number 26 is.
Doesn't matter. No one knows.
Doesn't matter. Probably not going to be in the league for a while. He got toasted. Absolutely roast behind Nelly by a good 2-3 paces.
Jordan Lewis, by the way.
That's his name?
Yes.
What's his name?
Jordan Lewis.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
He's the old Saints quarterback. He's terrible. But yeah, anyway. Just in and out of his hands. And that's been the problem that's plagued Nelly for a while. And I was afraid of this. And he's been so good. He's been He's been so good, but it just reared its ugly head. Yes. In the worst time. And I think that just comes down to you can't put makeup on a pig. You can't disguise shit. I love Nelly, but he has some underlying problems as a wide receiver. And no matter how good he gets, there's always going to be these bad habits that kind of rear out. I think he's a little too focused on getting upfield before he secures the ball. Classic mistake of anyone, because you and me both said he's got wide open real estate. He can set up a house on a couple acres of property with the field that's going on in front of him. So I think he was a little overambitious. And we got to see why a lot of people criticized Nelson Aguilar before he came here. Not had a lot of hate since he's been here, but now it's rearing his head now that he shows it off. And it just kills me that had to come in this moment, because he can be great. Tied the record for the most catches in a Super Bowl that we won. And then there's this.
I'll kick you off of this. You bring up that date.
It's just going to be Mike. It's going to be Mike talking to himself. So, Mike, do you think they should have went for it on fourth here?
It's just going to be me with different camera setup. So I just have three different
You can
me's.
put Patrick in one of the frames. And
I got Patrick and Cartman back there. I'll put them there.
You ask a question, just turn the swivel chair to another camera, look in the camera, and answer.
Well, Mike, that's a really good question. Hey, yo, Mike, what are you thinking over there, bud? That's not the fucking call. What are you talking about?
Hey, different accents every time, too.
I got accents.
You got to have a German guest.
I got accents, love. I got accents. Hey, Mike, what do you think of that one?
Yes.
What do you think? I just watched Bridgerton, so I got that in my head. Bridgerton was really good, by the way, guys. If anybody wants to watch it, some crazy sex scenes though. It was weird.
Yeah.
I see. Like that's the thing. Aguilar has been so good this year. Well, so good in the sense that he hasn't dropped many passes.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I don't think this is going to be like a as often it's not a constant problem. I don't think so. No, but that's what I'm saying.
It's like a big moments thing, maybe.
This is the year where things are happening at the worst times. I do think that there's a good amount of NFL like juju that has to go your way. I mean, our podcast is named after the Tuck rule, which is a rule, but they didn't have to enforce it. Nobody would have known. So it's just one of those things where, there's just things that happen in a season where you're like, oh yeah, I think this is it. But then there's things that happen where you're like, I don't think this is it. And then this kind of brings me to my bigger point about this game, and kind of something that I wrote about today on couchguysports.com. Go take a look.
What a shameless plug.
I'm
shameful, very shameful.
Yeah, I'm actually quite ashamed. I hate myself.
Going into this season, now I'm not talking about predictions people made before the year, before we saw any games, because like I said, I thought they were going to be 12-5. Liam, you were like 11-6, 12-5 or something too. Yeah, but we were all around there. Josie, it doesn't matter. You're not a Patriots fan.
I was going to say, I didn't make a prediction for your team.
You probably thought the Cowboys were going to suck because that's all they do.
9-8, but
they will.
I guarantee you they will be better than 9-8.
I don't think they will.
I think as Patriots fans, we have become spoiled in the sense that we have in our head what we think quarterback play should always look like. We have in our head these close games. We're always going to pull them out. Home field, no one's ever going to win here. This is a different era. This is the start of a different era, which is the start part in my eyes is very important, because you're watching a team develop and grow. There's always going to be growing pains. Whether Mac doesn't make the right read, someone misses a block, the players aren't on the same page. This is the first year you have so many new players playing together. And again, I'm not making excuses, because every loss, you should still be pissed. You should still be upset. You should still take it to heart, because we're fans. That's what we do. I think if you don't overreact during the game or a little bit after or something like that, to an extent, obviously there's a threshold where it's like, guys, calm down. Don't fire Belichick at halftime. But like, I think you have to cheer, root, criticize your team accordingly. But when you're like this, let's be very honest, like I said earlier, the Patriots are not Super Bowl contenders this year. It hurts me to say that. And don't get me wrong, I will cheer for them like they are. I will even tell people that they are. But deep down, I understand they're not, because I do like to think that Patriots fans are one of the more knowledgeable fan bases in the NFL, which I think up to this year, or even up to last year, I guess we'll say, we've kind of embodied that. But you have to understand that you're going to lose some tough games like this. You're going to lose close games like this. You're going to play very competitive games every week, because you are a good team. You're a pretty good team. but you don't have all the pieces, all the things in place to win these games yet. And that's what I'm saying. I think this team is a year, maybe 2 years away from being perennial playoff contenders, playoff makers, impossible Super Bowl contenders. Because I think in the offseason, you obviously have some holes. Maybe you draft a playmaking corner, playmaking guy in the secondary. Maybe you draft a wide receiver. I don't know. But I just think that this team is about a year away. And when you criticize this team, when you get very upset about this team, you always have to remember in the back of your head, this team's on the upward trajectory. This isn't the end of Tom Brady's career when we start to suck and everybody's like, oh my God, this is the end. No, guys, you have 10 to 15 years of good football. And I'm not saying, oh guys, the future is bright, so you don't have to worry about the present and all this. No. Still be pissed.
Yeah.
Still be very upset.
Show the emotion.
But at the same time, you have to be optimistic about it because the pieces are there. The coaching is there, even though McDaniels needs to get a little bit better, but that's fine. He wasn't bad last game. Let's just get that out.
No, I don't think so.
Even though I texted you, Liam, I was mad. I was like, I'm pissed at McDaniels. I was upset at everybody. But yeah, I think Patriots fans, if I'm going to leave everybody with one thing, calm down. This isn't the end of the world. Like, relax. I understand it's frustrating because we have, but Liam, I think you said it, I think the last 3 podcasts, we're accustomed to a certain level of,
certain
life,
standard of living is the word.
Certain standard of living. That is it. Friends, you have to lower that standard a little bit. When you walk by a bunch of workers, a bunch of foremen on a construction site, you see the building, tall ass building getting built. You don't go, that building sucks. Doesn't even have a roof. Doesn't even have a floor. No. You drive by, you go, they're still not done building that yet. They're still not done, which you can say that here. Oh, what? The Patriots still haven't put it all together? Sometimes buildings take too long to build. You're not going to walk by Picasso and be like, bro, you just got an outline done. That's it. What are you doing? When you get a tattoo and you have the outline, you're like, no, just wait till the finished product. It's annoying while it's happening. It's very frustrating, but at the same time, you got to be optimistic about it. If you're a pessimist, just stay away. Go root for another fan base because being a fan means you have to root for the team. You have to take the good with the bad. And like I said, Patriots fans, we're smarter than this. Take a step back, look at what's going on. It sucks right now, but I promise you it's going to be better. And next week's going to be a win. Step off my soapbox. Step off my soapbox. I'm sorry. If you guys have any closing statements, before we quickly touch on both of our teams' games. Oh, the Cowboys don't play next week? Just touching on the Patriots game.
Awkward.
Well, yeah, we got a bye week. We're rolling into the bye, 5-1. No better position to sit in.
It all goes down.
And I just, honestly, you guys are saying you're not Super Bowl contenders. I just hope the Cowboys can finally win a playoff game. That would just make me so happy.
This will be the year.
You definitely will.
This will
be. You're going to be waiting for a long, long time.
Baby steps. But anybody that wants to get off the Patriots bandwagon wants to join the real America's team.
Anybody getting off the Patriots bandwagon, I guarantee you, do you know where they're going?
Hold on, let me just check the bandwagon
Probably
real
the
quick.
Bills, right?
You getting off? No,
they're going to Tampa because they were never Patriots fans in the first place.
Yeah, that's fair.
You'd be lucky if your grandkids saw Cowboys win.
They will beat the Jets. There you go.
Definitely will beat the Jets.
Thank you for the vote of confidence. Liam,
Cowboys,
what's your kind of closing? Hey, shush. What do you think of what are your closing thoughts on everything, Liam?
I don't want to be that guy. If Sweet Feet was still playing, it's probably a dub.
Yeah. No, if Sweet Feet was playing, they go for it on these fourth downs. Let's be honest. They go for it on some of the fourth downs. They put him in at quarterback, and he delivers on these third downs. Yep. Yeah. Oh no. If he is around, and again, that's another thing. But people, when they say that Belichick should be on the hot seat, you're not looking at the whole thing. You got all these things. You got injuries. James White is one of your most valuable players. He was a captain. I'm sorry. Whenever a captain goes out, that's going to affect your team. Yeah, I think, like you said, James White is in. They're more aggressive on the fourth downs.
Yep.
We love James White here.
We do.
That's my positive of the Patriots.
Very pro James White podcast. So I think
not normally a big feet guy, but in this case, huge.
No. Don't like feet, actually. Don't like feet. But
that was an awkward turn that did not need to happen, Liam.
I like the sweet ones, not the regular ones.
Sweet, like how they like like taste or smell?
Oh God.
Whatever
Is
James
any-
White, whatever
Feet
James
right now,
White's
are we?
feet are. Salt and vinegar sounds pretty tight too. Now that I think of it,
James White's probably got nasty feet. All the games he's carried, you got to think, I don't know. We're making Josie uncomfortable though. You know why? Because Josie likes feet. That's what this is. That's why she's like,
No,
oh my God.
God,
That's
no. Are
it.
you
I gotta
kidding?
go.
That's it. Wow.
No,
That's crazy.
God, no.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, this last guys, it sucks 2-4. Again, the season isn't over.
Guys like Josie supporting us.
You got the Jets next week. Spoiler alert, they'll probably win against the Jets. Brings
Dub
you up
City.
to 3-4. And then after that, guys, just a quick little rundown of what you got. You got a game against the Chargers. That's going to be very tough.
Yeah.
All likelihood, you're probably going to lose that one. I hate to say it because I am still
That's
a
a
fan,
spirit.
but like in all likelihood, you may. Then you play the Panthers. I'm sorry, Sam Darnold's starting to come back down to earth. Christian McCaffrey's a little banged up. Hopefully you can pull that one out. You play the Browns. Browns are a joke. I don't think you have to really worry about them. And then you go against Atlanta. That's a win because I still think that you're in Atlanta's head from the Super Bowl. So, guys,
forever and ever.
good things are on the horizon. All right. Josie, I hope bad things are on the horizon for your team. But,
They are.
Let's not say.
It's a safe
that.
assessment.
I'm gonna say.
Come on, you know, you admitted they are your NFC East or NFC in general.
They're my
team.
NFC team
I just
as
got
a,
the
as a
chills.
whole.
Don't even
You know,
say
and that's the thing.
So
Well,
Oh.
Josie, that is why I said that I do think the Cowboys are Super Bowl contenders this year. Partly because I believe
I don't
it,
wanna go
partly
that far.
because it makes me feel better that we just lost to them. But
Yeah, that's fair.
but yeah, I don't think I have. I don't get the shocked look off your face, Liam. You know I'm a secret Cowboy.
we got
Not a
an easy
Cowboy,
stretch
it's like a
coming up
Cowboys-
after the bye.
I don't even think
I think
I'm
you're
a
a secret
Cowboys
something
fan.
else
You're
too.
gonna be seeing lots more wins here. We got a good easy stretch after.
Who do you got? Who do you got next? Phil.
So we have
Fill us
our
in.
bye, and then we have
Yep.
the Vikings.
That's a win, probably.
That's a
I think the
loss.
Vikings.
Then we have the
Loss
Broncos.
City. Loss.
That's
Then we have the Falcons.
Win.
win. Come on, Liam. Even Liam knows that. He's like, yeah.
Then we have the Chiefs.
Loss.
Potentially
Huge
cheeky
loss.
get.
Triple digit loss.
Then we got the Raiders on Thanksgiving.
Loss.
Oh, that's a
City.
loss because it's on
Population
Thanksgiving.
U.
The Raiders aren't even
Literally,
going to be good.
Thanksgiving is cursed.
Well, no, see, okay, Liam, this is where we may have to cheer for the Cowboys because at this point you might need the Raiders to lose and the Broncos to lose so that
Yeah.
you, as a Patriots fan and Patriots pseudo team member, can make the
And
playoffs.
the Chiefs to lose.
I
We'll see.
hate the Chiefs.
We'll see
First
how
of
they
all,
do the rest of the time.
Mahomes is a sloppy boy with his sloppy family and his sloppy football. Did you see his brother dance on Sean Taylor's
Oh,
Oh yeah.
21?
I'm actually gonna hunt him down and hurt him for that.
Yeah, that's
yeah, that's a no-no.
that's wild. That's wild because I think
He should be banned from every stadium ever, anywhere.
I think what
Like,
we should
high
do.
school games, he should be banned from.
Oh, all of them. Any stadium, any game. I think what we should do at the end of the podcast, we should maybe touch on like one or two things that happen in the NFL, and I think that's what we touched on right there. Yeah, you don't dance on Sean, and it's not like he didn't know. They had like Sean Taylor Appreciation Day, which, by the way, was like not great. I don't know. I think Liam something just like exploded in Liam's screen. I'm not sure what happened, but
Me neither. I'm still trying to figure that out. So,
Yeah. but all right. I think on that note, Josie Averitt, thank you very much for coming on the pod. The door is not always open for you, but sometimes we'll
if you knock, we might answer.
When
If
you
you
want to say "shut up, Josie" a billion times on a podcast,
I think I only
invite
said it
me.
like twice. I feel like I have to say this too because I know like
Said it a
things
good
going
couple
on.
times.
The three of us are friends, so it is not a mean "shut up, Josie" or anything. So I feel like I have to get it out there because I have to get it out there because I feel like people might be upset
Look,
about it.
If I wasn't your friend, would you really have me on the podcast after the Cowboys won? Come on.
Probably.
We're having Maddie
probably
B
not.
on.
I had to think about that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, talk about
he's,
Wendy's.
He's
when
upset that we
on.
talked about Wendy's. So guys, Josie, like I said, thank you for coming on. Next time, I'm sure you'll be on again this season. Maybe after a big Cowboys loss, we'll bring you on and just ridicule you and then kick
That'd
you
be
right out of the
awesome.
group.
Sounds great.
For Liam McDade, for Josie, Idaho, Averitt, I'm Mike Sullivan. See you guys next week. It's going to be a win against the Jets, by the way. Big win. That's my guess. All right. See you guys later. We out.
Sweet feet.
Sweet feet.